Okay, so we have question number 3. The statement is as follows. The following diagram shows 3 quadrilaterals. PQR such that Q and R are the images of P after it underwent 2 different transformations. Okay, so foremost we have to answer this question. Draw the image of P after a translation by vector 10, -4 and label it as P dash. Okay, so foremost let me draw the quadrilateral. So I will use the space. Let this be X and let this be Y. Now figure is not to scale. Okay. Now this is my P and this point is going to be 7 units and this point right here is -7. So the first point is 7, -7. Then we go to this point. Okay, so this point is exactly below 7 and it is 6. And if I were to drop the point, it's going to be 6, -6. Next I go to this point. Okay, so this point is going to be, so just one small change. This is actually -6, so the drop is at -6. Okay, so this point is -6, +6. So we write the x coordinate, y coordinate, and over here for this point that coordinate is going to be -6, it's going to be -7. -7 for this point, it's going to be -7, 4, and for this particular point it's going to be -8, 6. So all you need to do is go to the grid and find out the coordinates. So this is going to be my quadrilateral or I would say quadrilateral P. So I'll write the points down. So quadrilateral P, the points are, it's actually -7, 7 comma positive 7. So this is correction. We write the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So we have the quadrilateral. Let me explain to you the coordinates. So I'm going to start from this point. Just go and pick out the corresponding reference on the x-axis. So it's going to be -7 on the x-axis, +7 on the y-axis. Write this down. I'm moving down over here. If you were to drop it down, it's going to be -6 and +6. +6 is the second component, or I would say the component for y. The first component refers to the x coordinate. So coming up to the next point, this is going to be -7 and across it's going to be +4. And for this point, you drop in, you would correspond to -8 and across would be +6. Now we are expected to make a translation of 10 comma -4. So let me show here x comma y under 10 comma -4 translation will be equal to x positive 10 comma y -4. So this is how the translation will work. So what I'm going to do here is coordinate -7 and 7, and this is going to be the new quadrilateral P dash. So that's going to be -7 added with 10 and 7 added with -4. So 7 added with -4. Right, so let me use the space here. So -7 comma 4 is equal to -7 added with 10 and 7 added with -4. So this is going to be my P dash, and it's going to be 3 comma 3. So the first point 3 comma 3, if I were to take this as 1, 2 and 3, the point, and this is the 3 for the y. So from here this is going to be the point. Okay, 3 comma 3. And the next point is -6 comma 6, which is nothing but -6 added with 10, 6 added with 4. This is going to give me P dash of 4 comma 2. Now 4 comma 2 is this point, and 2 is over here, right? If I were to take 4 as this, 2 as this, so that would be the point. And the next one is -7 comma 4, which is -7 added with 10 and 4 added with -4. This is going to be 3 comma 0. So 3 comma 0 is right over here, right? And the next point, -8 comma 6, is going to be -8 added with 10 and 6 added with -4, which is 2 comma 2. So 2 comma 2, if this is 2 and this is also 2, so that point will be over here. So if you were to draw, this is how it looks. Okay. Now this is the next part of the question. Now we will have to obtain a P double dash from P by reflecting in y is equal to 0. Okay, so this is a solution. The line y is equal to 0 is the x-axis. So reflecting in y is equal to 0 means reflect across x-axis. So this means the point x comma y upon reflection is going to be x comma negative y. So the coordinates negative 7 comma 7 will now be p double dash of negative 7 comma negative 7, and negative 6 comma 6 will now be p double dash of negative 6 comma negative 6. Negative 7 comma 4 will be p dash of negative 7 comma negative 4. Negative 8 comma 6 will now be p double dash of negative 8 comma negative 6. So if I were to draw, right, I am going to be drawing it like this. This is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. So negative 7 comma negative, or I would say positive 7, negative 7 comma positive 7. So that's the topmost point, right? The top point, this is not to scale. This has been the original point, right? The topmost point. So now the topmost point would now be rewritten as negative 7 comma negative 7. So down here, if this point is negative 7, I would have the point, top point over here, negative 7, and this point, say we take it as negative 7. Okay, so this is negative 7. Now the right hand side, this is the right side point, negative 6 comma 6. That right side point is going to be negative 6 comma negative 6. So this is my negative 6 and negative 6. So that's going to be over here. The next point is the lower point. That's negative 7 comma 4, right? So negative 7 comma 4 is now going to be negative 7 negative 4. So if this is negative 6 negative 5 negative 4, so approximately this will be the point. And then negative 8 is the other one. Negative 8 comma 6 is now going to be negative 8 comma negative 6. Okay, so negative 8, if this is negative 8, then negative 8 comma negative 6, this is negative 6 already. So this will be the point. So the quadrilateral's look will be like this. Okay, that's a solution to this question.